Have you ever created something that you spilled countless hours into? A project where you put a lot of time, effort, resources, and energy into something that you thought was going to be big, and more importantly, was going to make a huge impact, a big wave in the ocean. But when you finished said project, you put it out there to the world, and no one watched it. If this is something that you guys have gone through, this is something that I just went through with my latest video, and I want to talk about why the algorithm sucks on YouTube and how it screwed over my last short film. Okay, so recently I just wrapped up a project that I put a lot of energy into. I exhausted all the resources that I had available to me, i.e. epic footage, and decided to assemble it into something that I was really proud of. This was a project that I spilled so much time, effort, resources, and above all else, love into, and the return that I got was not what I expected. I didn't get the return of the views that I was really wanting. Okay, so before we go any further, I think I've got to exercise a little bit of gratitude, which is thank you for those of you who have watched this video and saw it. Again, I was super passionate about it, but again, there wasn't a lot of views on it in comparison to, let's say, some of my other videos. And I think that's something to establish, first of all, is the fact that this video that I poured a lot of heart and soul into it got a fraction of the amount of views as, let's say, a video that I made about reacting to a drone. Again, this is not disregarding either of those or those of you who have watched it, but there is an interesting set of metrics there that kind of show that a video that takes me an hour gets 10 times the amount of an audience than the one that I spend on for days. Why does quality not equate to viewership and people watching that? Okay, and before we go any further, I think it's super important that you guys, actually it's incredibly important, go watch the video that I'm talking about and then continue. So press pause, open up another window, and then finish that video and then watch the rest of this. It's super important, check it out. Okay, so assuming you guys have watched that video, let's talk about one of the key things, the algorithm. And unfortunately, for me as a consumer and viewer, I hate looking at videos that are tending to or trying to cater to the algorithm. But unfortunately, as a creator, it's something that we have to do. But here's why it sucked. My video, I spent a lot of time thinking about how could this sort of propel into that algorithm whirlpool. So what I worked on a cool thumbnail. I even took time to shoot it. Me and a couple other YouTube creators went out and we shot it. And then I also got some opinions and ideas of how I should create the title. So title, thumbnail, boom, we're dynamite. I even made my video close to that 10-minute range, which theoretically is the length of time that will make a YouTube video succeed. The problem with this was the video did not end up successful. Well, at least in viewers. Okay, so before you guys sort of attack me for being like, Zach, why did you go do trendy clickbaity things? Well, here's the thing. My videos, just like all YouTube videos, need oxygen to stay afloat. My channel needs oxygen to stay afloat. And that oxygen is viewership, and more importantly, it's actually just getting some cash in my bank account so I can continue doing this without, living in my parents' basement. So here is the reality. I need viewers to make monies to continue creating content. But you see, the struggle I'm dealing with isn't making a video. It's making a video that corresponds with how the trip actually felt. When I created that video, along with a lot of other videos that I've sort of published and produced that maybe didn't get a lot of viewership, I still got a lot out of them. And I won't go into the cheesy schmoozy being like, well, I learned a lot while I made it, which is super duper true. You learn a lot with the videos that maybe don't get a lot of viewership because you experimented, and there's a lot of value in that. But where there actually becomes more valuable is this thing that I've started saying in my head when I create more videos that maybe aren't so clickbaity is it's not about how many people are watching it, it's about who's watching it. And sometimes the videos that I've made that didn't get a lot of viewership, that right one person saw it. And because of that video, I've been able to access and leverage new jobs that have propelled my career. And here's the other thing, is my motto, trademark. I wanna make a t-shirt that says this: creativity creates creativity. And I know this might sound maybe a little bit bizarre, but it really is true. If you create more, you'll be more creative, and that will propel you to create more stuff. It's just this ongoing cycle. So the fact that I'm making these videos will spur on new inspiration to create something else. I'm also sharpening my tools, becoming a better creator, and thus making possibly videos that will succeed. There's a great section in one of my favorite books called The 4 Agreements, which they talk about how doing your best will make sure that you're not vulnerable for regret. And regret as a creator is the worst possible thing. I'm sure you and definitely me have created videos in the past where I didn't do my best. I sort of just slashed through it, and when I put it up online, I hated it. And then people started watching it, and then I didn't like it. And that's anything in life. If you don't do your best, you're gonna not like it. And in return, the person who's watching it, the most important person who ever watches your videos, whom is yourself, if you don't like what you're creating, it's just gonna tear you apart. So again, it's not necessarily about how many people are watching, it's about who is watching. And the most important person who's watching it is you. And then anybody else on top of that is great. But trust me, if your video is good and has good quality and you share it, you might just send it to the person who will radically change your life, or that project that might radically change you, or that discovery that you had along the process. So, this is all me saying as a bit of a window open to you guys is, for me, it's almost to help me answer my indecisiveness. Now, while this might contradict what I was saying a little bit before, this channel does need viewership to stay afloat, but it also needs support from you. And I wanna know from you guys, would you prefer me sort of making those really big, long, thick, long-winded videos to keep this channel entertaining and have really good quality? Or are you okay with maybe some lower quality videos in exchange for just more content being pumped out? So for example, this video that you're watching right now took me a lot shorter period of time than the New Zealand one that I've been plugging throughout this. So compare the two and let me know which one you would prefer. Again, something that has a lot more detailed time and effort allocated and dedicated into it, or something like this, which is information-based, also super fun for me to make, but maybe not as long-winded. Or do you want just me to continue doing what I've been doing in the past? That's also an answer, but please write that in the comment section below. Love to hear your thoughts on that. And finally, again, I just gotta thank the sponsor of this, which is Squarespace. They were able to keep the last video afloat along with this one without me having to worry about viewership and however many people are watching. It's thanks to them that these videos can be created, as well as so can my website. Now, Squarespace is an incredible web hosting, web building platform with a wide choice of different designs, award-winning templates, and you guys can also pick up your domain there. Now, for me, building a website has always been a bit of a daunting process, but as soon as I was able to open up Squarespace, use their 100% customizable template, I was able to build, design, and create that website that I've been wanting for years for my personal self. But I've also created a website for my company, Blackout Media, that we've had for over 5 years, and I'm so proud of both websites that I've been using. And finally, on that note, if you guys use the promo code Zach Ramlin at checkout, you can receive 10% off your purchase. There's really no reason not to check out Squarespace. But that's it. For those of you who, I don't know, like what I'm talking about, like what I'm babbling on about, you know what to do. I'm not even gonna ask. It would be awesome if you could. That's it. Okay, well, keep making some great stuff. I'll see you guys later, and when you look at your coffee cup and there's just a little bit left,